In this opening segment, we capture the profound instant when the heart begins its journey toward renewal. Imagine a quiet, almost ethereal pre-dawn moment where the world is still, and the sky is painted with the soft hues of an impending sunrise. In that fragile silence, the soul awakens to the divine reminder that every new day holds the promise of change. This is the moment when the burdens of yesterday begin to lift, replaced by a spark of hope and the stirring of a longing for something greater. At this very instant, the weight of past regrets and fears starts to dissipate, making room for the light of divine guidance. The Quran's timeless verses, recited in the calm of the early morning, become the catalyst for this transformation. They whisper to the heart, "I'll begin again, for there is always forgiveness and endless mercy." This awakening is not just a fleeting thought. It's a deep internal realization that every hardship is an opportunity to renew one's faith and commitment to Allah. Here, we explore the emotional and spiritual shifts that occur during this moment of awakening. It's the turning point where a person moves from a state of inertia and self-doubt into one of active hope and purposeful change. This is the moment that sets the stage for embracing gratitude, seeking forgiveness, and stepping into the promise of new beginnings that Ramadan offers. This section dives into the internal battle of self-doubt and the paralyzing fear that often holds us back. Imagine the feeling of standing on the edge of a vast stage, your heart pounding so loudly you can almost hear it echo through your mind, and the weight of countless expectations pressing down on you. This is the moment when insecurities take center stage, the internal voices that whisper, "We're not enough, you'll fail, or they won't listen to you." For many, including myself, the fear of public scrutiny and the dread of judgment from others can be overwhelming. It's like a dark cloud that obscures the light of our true potential. Yet, in the stillness of Ramadan, when the world slows down and every soul is invited to reflect, there lies an opportunity to confront that fear head-on. The transformative power of the Quran shines brightest in these moments. As you recite its verses or simply let its timeless words wash over you, there's a profound realization that the only opinion that truly matters is Allah's. When you place your trust in Him, your insecurities begin to fade. You start to understand that every challenge is an invitation to grow stronger. The Quran teaches us that vulnerability is not a weakness but a stepping stone toward becoming resilient. By embracing prayer and seeking Allah's guidance, you can turn that paralyzing fear into a source of empowerment. Each time you stand before Him in prayer, your heart becomes braver, your voice steadier, and your spirit more confident. Overcoming insecurity isn't about erasing fear completely. It's about learning to move forward in spite of it, trusting that Allah's support will carry you through even the darkest moments. In essence, this segment is about facing your deepest fears and understanding that your worth is not defined by the opinions of others. It's a call to rise above self-doubt and to reclaim the power that Allah has bestowed upon you. This journey from fear to confidence is the cornerstone of personal transformation, paving the way for a life filled with gratitude, forgiveness, and new beginning. In this segment, we dive into how the Quran stands as an eternal light, guiding us through our darkest moments and inspiring hope in even the most despairing hearts. The Quran is not merely a book of rules or historical accounts. It is a living, breathing source of divine wisdom that illuminates our path when the world seems shrouded in darkness. Imagine reading a verse on a challenging day when every hope seems lost, and then suddenly feeling a gentle warmth in your heart, a warmth that reminds you that every hardship is paired with ease. This is the power of the Quran. It speaks directly to our inner selves, assuring us that no matter how deep our pain, there is always a promise of relief and renewal. The verses of the Quran serve as a reminder of Allah's boundless mercy and compassion. They call on us to be patient, to reflect, and to trust that our struggles are temporary. The Quran encourages us to see every trial as an opportunity to grow, to cleanse our hearts, and to prepare for a better tomorrow. It emphasizes that true strength comes not from worldly achievements, but from a deep, unwavering connection with the divine. As you listen to the recitation of its verses or read its words in quiet solitude, you begin to understand that the Quran is more than just ancient scripture. It is a timeless beacon that illuminates our lives with hope, guiding us toward a future filled with promise and spiritual fulfillment. In embracing its message, we learn to trust in Allah's plan, to seek His guidance, and to hold on to the hope that every new dawn brings the chance for a fresh start. This is the essence of the Quran's message, a divine assurance that even in our moments of deepest despair, There's always light, always hope, and always a way forward. Imagine standing amid the hustle and bustle of a busy city where every second is filled with the noise of daily life. It was in the heart of New York City, a concrete jungle where thousands rushed by, each lost in their own world, that I encountered the true test of faith. It was time for Asr prayer, yet there was no mosque in sight, no quiet room to retreat into. With the relentless pace of life around me, I found myself at a crossroads. To wait and miss my prayer, or to step forward and fulfill my duty before Allah, even if it meant praying in the midst of strangers. In that moment, every heartbeat echoed with a mix of fear and determination. The idea of stopping in the middle of a busy street, of bowing down with complete sincerity, was both daunting and liberating. I could feel the weight of countless eyes upon me. Curiosity, judgment, perhaps even ridicule. Yet, as I knelt down, I sensed a profound shift within. The chaotic backdrop faded into insignificance, replaced by a deep inner calm that only sincere worship can evoke. It was more than just an act of prayer. It was a declaration of faith. In that vulnerable, raw moment, I experienced an overwhelming sense of connection to Allah. The very act of praying in public, disregarding worldly opinions, became a powerful testament to my commitment. I realized that true strength lies in prioritizing one's relationship with the Creator over the transient opinions of society. The experience was a vivid reminder that when we stand before Allah, no matter where we are, we become immersed in a timeless, transcendent truth that transcends the noise of the world. This public act of worship wasn't merely a test of my courage. It was a transformative experience that washed away layers of self-doubt. In that moment, I learned that the fear of judgment pales in comparison to the overwhelming mercy and acceptance of Allah. It was a turning point, a declaration that no matter the environment, I would remain steadfast in my devotion, unafraid to let my soul shine through the act of sincere worship. This point delves into the transformative strength that comes not from external validation, but from a deep, unwavering belief in oneself and in Allah's promise. It's the realization that true confidence is born when you align your actions with the divine guidance of the Quran and the sincere practice of Salah. Imagine a moment when you stand in front of a mirror and instead of doubting your worth, you see the reflection of a person chosen by Allah, capable of overcoming any obstacle. That's the power of conviction. In our journey through Ramadan, many of us grapple with self-doubt and the fear of judgment. But as we immerse ourselves in the Quran and engage in heartfelt prayer, we begin to understand that our true worth isn't determined by the fleeting opinions of the world. Conviction grows when we internalize the message that Allah's approval is the only one that truly matters. This newfound conviction pushes us to step out of our comfort zones, be it by asking questions in a large lecture hall, or by praying openly in a bustling city like New York. It's this inner fire, this steadfast belief that once took root, which transforms our fears into courage. When we're convinced that our lives are guided by a purpose greater than ourselves, every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth. Our conviction propels us forward, encouraging us to speak up, to stand for what is right, and to trust that even if we falter, Allah's mercy is always within reach. This power of conviction is the silent force that turns our vulnerabilities into our greatest strengths. It's a reminder that the journey to confidence is not about the absence of fear, but about facing that fear head-on, armed with faith and the promise of new beginnings. This section is all about releasing the weight of past mistakes and grudges, a transformative act of letting go. Imagine a heavy burden you've carried for years, each regret and every hurt acting like a stone tied to your heart. In Islam, forgiveness is not just a virtue, it's a powerful means of healing and renewal. The Quran reminds us time and again that Allah's mercy is boundless, and He invites us to seek forgiveness with sincerity. In this phase of your journey, you're encouraged to look back at past errors, whether they're mistakes you've made or wounds inflicted by others, and choose to free yourself from their hold. It's about understanding that holding on to anger and regret only hampers your spiritual growth. The Prophet Muhammad says that forgiving others and forgiving yourself is essential for peace of mind. When you embrace forgiveness, you unlock the door to inner peace, allowing gratitude and hope to fill the space once occupied by resentment. Imagine sitting in quiet contemplation during Ramadan, with a gentle recitation of the Quran in the background. As you listen, each verse becomes a balm for your soul, urging you to release the bitterness of the past. You begin to see that every hardship was a lesson and that true strength lies in moving forward without carrying the weight of yesterday. This is not an easy journey. It requires courage to admit past faults and to seek Allah's mercy. Yet it is this very process of forgiveness, both giving and receiving, that purifies the heart and prepares you for new beginnings. By embracing forgiveness, you transform your pain into wisdom. The act of letting go is liberating, allowing you to focus on the present and to build a future grounded in faith, gratitude, and unwavering hope. This is the essence of Ramadan, a time to reset your spiritual self, unburden your soul, and step into the light of Allah's infinite mercy. In this final segment, we focus on the transformative promise of Ramadan as a true new beginning. Imagine the moment when the final call to prayer fades into the night and the first light of dawn emerges, a symbolic start to a day filled with hope, renewal, and limitless possibility. This is more than just the passing of time. It's a spiritual rebirth, a clean slate that Allah graciously offers to every believer. During Ramadan, every sunrise reminds us that the past is behind us and that every new day is a fresh start. The month provides a unique opportunity to leave behind old habits, regrets, and even failures. It's a time when every act of worship, every prayer, every recitation of the Quran, every heartfelt dua serves as a stepping stone towards personal and spiritual growth. Seizing Ramadan's blessings means embracing every opportunity to transform our inner lives. It's about viewing each moment as a chance to rebuild ourselves with gratitude, to make amends, and to recommit to the path of righteousness. This period isn't just about abstaining from food and drink. It's about abstaining from negativity, self-doubt, and the weights of past mistakes. In this new beginning, the blessings of Ramadan are like seeds planted in a fertile garden. With every good deed, every act of kindness, and every sincere prayer, these seeds grow into a flourishing life of inner peace, resilience, and hope. Allah's mercy is abundant during this month, and by embracing His guidance, we learn to let go of the past and welcome the future with open hearts. Welcome the future with open heart. This is your invitation to step into a new era of your life where you prioritize your spiritual well-being, where you recognize that every day is a gift, and where you understand that true transformation begins from within. Ramadan teaches us that while life may be filled with trials and challenges, there is always a chance to start over, a chance to become the best version of ourselves, empowered by faith, gratitude, and an unwavering commitment to our Creator.